You are now in the black box. Whoa. With Spider Loke, Most Easty, aka VJ Keyway, and the Google Gang. Let's go!
Snake Net Hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spider Loke. You know I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
Jeter, gratitude is the attitude. This show is a blessing. To be back in the black boxes, we blow us a session. The constant, consistent, continuous content creating campaign continues in the black box with me, myself, SPI Easty, a.k.a. VJ Keyway. And just like we thought, Adam at 4 o'clock, he did his announcement as to what the feds wanted to talk to him about. Loose lips definitely sink ships. And out of all the things that they could have been interested in, apparently they're interested in this phantom, thank the Lord, fake, non-existent FaceTime call with Big U and Loose Lips in regards to the passing of the late great neighborhood Nip the Crip, the Keyway Christ. However, in particular, it seems that they were interested in the cease and desist that Big U has sent over. And in my mind, I guess they feel like if he wanted it down, it may be an incriminating factor. However, Dookie ass turned over the goddamn, whatever the feds wanted, he cooperated. So with no further ado, let's see what Adam, pink panty ass, been up to.
Do you feel like you've affected what's going on with them right now?
Not really.
You don't?
Although I can speak on some very, very privileged information right now that I think is going to set the internet on fire because
It is.
All right, let me break this down for you. Let me break down the last 24 or so hours of my life. So I, this morning, got a colonoscopy as a result of the fact that I, for a period of time, was suffering from a condition called colitis, in which your colon becomes infected and irritated, whatever. They wanted to do a colonoscopy. This is my second time.
God bless anybody that comes across that randomly, but you suspect. How do you get that kind of condition? How do you get irritation up in that area? When we know your last April Fool photo shoot, I'm just saying.
Doing it. Basically, it involves you don't eat any food for 24 hours. You take a bunch of meds that make you shit out every last ounce of water and shit inside your body, and then you go into the doctor's.
Shout out to the Viral Way podcaster, my niggas. Mr. Viral, I don't know the other homie name, but they don't give a fuck about none of this bush. East side to the Lokes, Keyway Nation.
Office, they put you to sleep, they take a camera, they put the camera inside of your butthole, which means, yes, I was booka booka today.
And Brick's very jealous.
By a large Samoan man.
Look how they get this. Bricc done let his name get established to where first he got a lush mouth. Bricc is jealous because another man was venturing off into Adam's anal canal. That's self-established. Bricc got aware of that.
I don't know. I was locked up. I was knocked out, so I don't remember anything from it at all. I'm sorry, Bricc. I know that this kind of goes against the nature of our relationship and everything. I wasn't supposed to let another dude hold me down like that.
Imagine that, How? How do you get to that type of understanding with a peck of wood? I don't get it, bro. That's crazy.
While you were locked up, I'm so sorry. But I did that today. Anyway, yesterday, I'm sitting around the house.
Oh, nut hugging lush. He the only one glazing, giggling, like it's just so funny.
Starving myself all day. I actually have a newfound appreciation for fasting because I do feel like I achieved some sort of mental clarity while I didn't eat food for a day.
Shouts to the monks.
But while I'm in my house, I'm playing poker on my computer, a guy comes to my front door, and I didn't actually even know, but my girl was communicating with him through the box in the front of our house with the camera. She texts me. She says, a dude is here from the FBI, and basically he's trying to serve you with a subpoena. And so she told him, like a ride or die would, she told him, Adam's not here, and he's off at work or whatever. I forget what she told him. And so I immediately hop on the line with my lawyer. I say, what should I do? I don't want to, handle this situation.
Ride or die, huh? And you just told on her in front of the world. You know, the feds is all in your business. You know that's destruction of justice, correct? They came to the home to seek you, and then she lied on your behalf to protect you, and then you get right on the camera and give her up. You was a cold piece of shit. Oh, my mama. I can't believe I just seen that. Oh, she don't know nothing, because that's a weak link they can squeeze now.
Situation wrong over and over and over. I've sat down with rappers or whoever who tell me about situations in which they divulged too much information to the police or whoever, and it ended up coming back to bite them. Especially something that comes to mind is like Hurricane Chris, who caught a body that was blatantly self-defense. Soon as the cops come, he airs out his whole situation and ends up coming.
Hurricane Chris, my ass. He been listening to what we saying from the black box. Oh, my mama. He is nervous. He gonna get in there and just try to cooperate because he think he doesn't have any incriminating information, and he's scared they gonna trick him into saying too much because I said so. Oh, my mama.
Back to haunt him because the state ends up trying him. So if he had not made all those statements to the cops right after he had killed this dude, then it for sure would have been a way easier case for him to beat. Now, that being said, I'm not really that worried because I know that I myself haven't been involved in any criminality.
Me, myself, and I. Cuz got eye trouble. Everybody not a team player. Teams win and lose together. You're not really concerned because I myself. Wow.
But I figured I would have my lawyer take care of it. So my lawyer reaches out to the guy who came to my door. She assures me that she's going to be able to ask the FBI agent a handful of questions, and from that information be able to ascertain, is Adam in trouble? Is Adam going to be, forced to hand over a crazy amount of information? Because that was kind of lingering around in my.
So he has it fixed in his mind that he could possibly be forced, not requested, but required. Forced. How can someone force you to do something? This dude is tricky, bro. This is crazy.
My head is like, God, this is going to be a huge pain in the ass if they want to confiscate all the computers and everything in here. We're going to have to, buy a bunch of computers to use.
Where's the furnace? Start the furnace up, guys.
I don't know. I was considering that. I have not destroyed any information for the record. But
they think everything funny. You talking like this. The feds is watching. So if they nervous that you might make that move, which they probably know they could trust you, you probably wink told them, hey, I won't do any of that. And they probably already got cyber surveillance going on to see if you try to delete anything. However, you playing like they won't come shut that thing tomorrow and do it like they did Diddy estates while you playing and taunting and teasing. Clowns.
This is the thing that my lawyer comes back to me with. She said the feds were interested in one thing and one thing only. Because in my head, I'm thinking they're going to want copies of the podcasts that Bricc or Loose were on. They're going to want to make sure that there wasn't anything in those podcasts that was edited out. Now, anybody who knows me and No Jumper knows that we really don't like to edit things out. So the only stuff we're editing out is if it's like a 4-alarm fire, like, yo, we need to take this out. So I don't think there's ever been something that Bricc or Loose told us that they needed us to edit out. But the one thing that the feds wanted was the cease and desist from Big U to No Jumper, asking us to take down the episode in which Loose Cannon first made the explosive statements that suggested that Big U had previous knowledge of Nipsey Hussle's death. Now,
the incriminating allegations, the accusations, statements, those statements.
That situation is very much outside of what was mentioned in the indictment.
That was not an indictment. That was a hurried presented report while they prepared the indictment that is going to be extremely far more exhaustive and extensive than what you are referring to, sir. There's going to be a lot more detail and more included information and perhaps incidents. You shall see.
In the indictment, there's nothing about Nipsey. There's nothing about any of that stuff.
He sounds slow-tarded as if he believes that somehow this investigation is limited to the things that have already been exposed. How slow-tarded can you be? And you play poker? They must love to see you coming, or blah, 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 blah.
So this to me is kind of massive because it makes me feel like, oh, the FBI is interested in what Big U's involvement in Nipsey's death might be, which to me seems gigantic. I don't know why that cease and desist is not going to help them prosecute Bricc Baby or Loose Cannon or anybody else.
Once you start the relationship of showing the willingness to surrender content, it's not going to stop there. I'm telling you. You Agent 22 from now on. You ain't Adam22. You Agent 22.
But the fact that they're interested in that, to me, adds quite a bit of credibility to the argument that perhaps Nipsey Hussle's death was a more complicated situation than it appears to be.
Well, isn't that when this
You gave it to him, though?
Isn't
We did hand it over, yep.
isn't this when
Of course
that
you did. You didn't think
that
he wasn't?
You hear the low?
I mean, really, like,
So it's safe to say you the feds.
Agent 22.
I'm happy to help the feds with talking
God
about a document that
damn.
we have previously discussed on here over and over, and which does.
He's so slow. So if by chance you happen to discuss something else that interests the feds already, it's okay to provide that in this raw form too, in totality, to help them compile more information to incarcerate one of our brothers, huh? That's cool too. That's crazy.
It doesn't implicate anybody that I know or whatever.
Anybody that you know, Big U, he came and blessed your platform with a gang of views at one point. You was honored to have him there. Now you don't. It's somebody you don't know. Listen to the devil, y'all.
And it's not like I know about Big U doing something illegal. Big U did something perfectly legal by sending over a document to us asking us to remove a piece of content. Now, for the record,
Regardless of that fact, the feds are not interested in compiling legal things that Big U has done in his life. All the things that they're interested in, they're trying to utilize to give him a long, lengthy prison sentence, slow tart.
it doesn't mean that this means that there's a full-scale investigation into Big U's involvement
So
in
you
this situation.
you don't feel like you played no part in them getting booked at all?
No.
Yeah, get him, Kyle.
Not
Like
really.
with the shit they set up here and you clipping it up. I mean, I get you live and people might be able to screen record, but some of the shit these niggas is saying, you sitting back, like even the feds probably like, I can't believe like these niggas is this dumb.
Well,
Then you clip it up
I
to
mean,
reiterate what they said
my
instead of
attitude is basically if somebody comes on the podcast and they want to live their truth, they want to talk about the things that they've been through, then it's none of my business to dig through each podcast and figure out what's criminal, what might come back to get them. Because let's be real, this is hip hop where a huge percentage of people's lyrics, songs, etc., are basically putting them in the mix and acknowledging that they've been involved with crimes.
Man, that sounds dumb as that just sounds like somebody talking about, oh yeah, man, yeah, this is my crack house. Shit, man, these people's already smoking crack before I got this crack house. They want to come up here and smoke crack. I don't bear no responsibility. That's on them that they ruin their life right here at my establishment. Don't get mad at me. Come on, man. You have no accountability, no responsibility. You're not a real man, homie. You always right. Even when you doing the knowing the man in front of everybody's face, this is federal shit, boy. It's your crack house. So you think when the feds come and raid the crack house, well, I guess so. What they not interested. It might not be that much of a direct a metaphor, But whether legally or not, morally, integrity-wise, you hold just as much responsibility, if not more, than the crackheads in the spot. You don't suffer from the ailments that they're discussing. You haven't had the hard past, the criminal lifestyle that might incriminate you. You have the knowledge of the feds being interested in these type of issues, just like the dope fiends. The crackheads cannot control their habit, but the dope fiend know what the dope dealer, the one who crack house is, he know what's going on. That's you.
And, you know, when I'm sitting there and Loose Cannon's saying, because keep in mind, this is my first time even understanding that Big U might have had any involvement in any street stuff still, when Loose Cannon's sitting there and saying, yeah, me and Big U went to this weed spot and we got.
Notice, even Agent 22 is acknowledging loose lips sink ships. He, who studies our culture extremely, has 60s around him, other neighborhoods, had no clue that Big U may not be involved in anything street related until Loose Lips, that wacko no 100 brought up there, bro. Can't leave him out of it. On my mama.
Got all this money out of them, and then Big U didn't split the money up fairly, and yada yada. I'm sitting there thinking, Big U's on that? Like, I had no idea that Big U would have been doing anything that could be considered extortion or, you know, payments for checking in, whatever.
Not a guess.
In retrospect, I feel a little naive since he did call his podcast that, and he was talking about the checking in process pretty openly.
You talked about
I mean,
it
like Bricc.
Because
on the
at the end of
Breakfast
the day,
Club.
we see, like, we understand the bottom line is the money. So at the end of the day, like you just said, if they come on here and you ask them certain questions and they're dumb enough to speak on that, yeah, it's partly their fault, but you don't think the questions you ask are strategically bringing certain things about of them?
Well, it's not like I could have even asked about that since I didn't know anything about that. They just started talking about
Well,
it.
like, who are y'all talking about?
No, look. See, me, I'm talking about Bricc. Now, as far as guests that come on and willingly tell on themselves, that's 100% on them.
Okay,
I don't blame.
So
I don't blame platforms for dumbasses coming on the internet where you know the police are watching every platform everywhere and telling on crimes they committed. They're idiots.
understandable, but did you read Brick's indictment?
I'm not reading through none of that shit. But basically what I'm saying is, regardless of if anything he said on this show was in the indictment or not, some of the shit he said, if that's my boy, like if my brother was to say some shit like that, hey bro, you gotta stop talking about shit like that. Or I'm not even putting it up. Like, nigga, you just said some federal shit.
Just like anybody with some integrity will try to run their loved one about the crack house.
Edit that shit out before we put the clip out. I'm not just gonna be like, oh, fuck it, it is what it is. He dumb enough to do it if this is my boy. See, there's a difference between I'm calling this my homie, my friend, like Adam calls Bricc, or some idiot that just comes up here and wants to go viral. Yeah, I caught 11 hats. Okay, you stupid as fuck.
But I think part of it is the fact that, you know, when Bricc comes on here and says, I'm putting kill squads in the street, or I got more bodies than you guys squabbles.
That's what I was getting. That was crazy.
But bro, he don't mean that shit.
It doesn't matter.
That's for entertainment purposes.
When he goes to court, they can still bring that type of shit up.
But my thing is that when I hear Bricc say something like that, and of course I assume that Bricc has never killed anybody, but when he says that kind of thing, I assume he's doing marketing because he knows that the aura of danger.
Agent 22 is either surely an agent or he's way in over his head. Naive, gullible, slow-tarded are good words to describe. You picked a good one, naive. You still naive. Or you're an exact agent, either or.
Danger around him is such that that's really going to hook people and get them interested.
Keeping someone this naive in your circle when you out here being crafty, ruthless, and scandalous is a liability. You slipping. You not knowing who you around. He has no understanding of the ramifications of the things that he is dealing with when he's dealing with real ones that's really activated. It's obvious he's clueless.
And we're seeing that right now. Really, if I had a suggestion for Bricc, if he gets out tomorrow, I'm going to say, let's get a video guy. Let's get in the studio. Let's drop music right now.
1000%.
Because realistically, having this aura of danger and criminality around you is going to be massively beneficial to people paying attention to your music or whatever you're trying to monetize.
And you know he going to be attached to the back end. He is. We're going to document the whole court process. And he's going to monetize it. It's a capitalist world. Y'all better be Y'all be thinking y'all have friends. He trying to eat, period.
So, I mean, number one, all those statements were said on live. So, yeah, we could have cut it out, which would have basically meant that everybody besides us was able to monetize it.
Oh, my mama, haven't got this far into the video. Only watched like 2 minutes of it, maybe 3 minutes. Monetize. Everybody else, even if it's wrong to monetize off my friend, I got to do it because everybody else is doing it. So you going to treat your friend like everybody else? You don't have a moral compass that causes you to make decisions? You're going to follow the crowd, the multitude? That's crazy. When it comes to your friend, whew, with friends like these, oh my God.
Or we could have, you know.
Is that more important?
So it's content over everything.
I mean, it's going to happen either way. So.
But the thing is, if you read Brick's indictment, you'll see, and I'm not telling you to because I know you don't want
he's not being accused of anything like that.
That's what I'm. That's,
You slow-tarded motherfuckers. That is not an indictment. That is a summarized report, complaint that's preceding the complete indictment. You are clueless to the totality of the indictment that is on its way. It's what happened when you sit up in politics with queerdos, y'all. Look how confused they are to what's actually coming. And they're trying to speak on it from an expert position after claiming to be naive, and the things that they're naive about have this serious consequence attached to them. This is crazy.
Yeah.
what I was trying to get to. So literally, like, he had an AK case from 2023. It's got nothing to do with anything he said on a podcast. He's not a part of that RICO.
We seen the clip, the interview with Luce and Bricc. We seen everybody highlighting the flea gnashing. Then we know they went and renated his house the next day. How do you not know they didn't match that thing to that? You feel me? When they grabbed, they named the gang of heaters they got up off the homie. So, how do we not know that one that was there in that building on that camera wasn't one of the ones confiscated? More likely than not, it was.
With Big U and them, he's not listed as a defendant.
Yeah, I saw that.
On that
yeah, I seen all that.
So there's nothing that he said. Now, what you saying, what Messiah said, like, oh, it could be used against you in court, potentially as a character witness, but I think that could easily be dismissed considering you're an entertainer for a living, and your persona is based on having this, street image, which these statements do nothing but substantiate. It's got.
Yeah, Lush, you come in there as a character witness and you pop that shit on his behalf. Slow tardy.
At the end of the day, if somebody come on here and they say what they say, that's coming out that person's mouth.
And even if Bricc had never been on a podcast, you could just listen to his music and say, look at all this shit that he said that's basically him declaring himself a killer.
So now, if there was not an investigation of combing through his lyrics, I'm sure there will be one launched by the AM. Thanks for that, Agent 22.
I mean, his music's way gnarlier than anything.
That's what I'm saying, is that, like, let's say tomorrow Bricc gets hit with another indictment, and it's like, oh, we think Bricc Baby killed these 4 people. I mean, the music is then going to be, the Traplo Ross documentary is going to be crazy, because Bricc talks like he's the best man who's ever walked the West Coast in his music.
Swamp Story.
And that's what you're supposed to do.
Swamp Stories has a whole video calling him, you feel me?
Oh, yeah, right?
You feel me? The Crip serial killer, whatever they call him.
And I mean, people want to blame you, which I think, again,
Swamp Stories is not his friend. Stupido.
and you asking certain questions could be looked at as, fetish. But at the end of the day, these people are coming up here to give these stories, to give this behind the scenes information because they want to go viral. They want the clout. So at the end of the day, if you're willing to take the risk of sitting behind bars or being unalived or whatever the case is for clout, then that's on you, right? Like at the end of the day, I could pass out the poison all day. It's up to the people on the other side to take it. So if they're going to come on here and they're going to do that.
That's crazy. He used that analogy because let's go back to the crack spot. That's not totally true, folks. Think about it in that regard. Salute.
That's on them.
Yeah.
That's
how I feel about it. Even though I feel like you do put people in positions where they could say things that might be incriminating, or they do, you make them feel comfortable enough where you guys start talking about certain things that they shouldn't be talking on camera. But at the end of the day, they gotta know that for themselves.
The man that run the crack house gonna get way more time than the dope fiends in that motherfucker. It might be flip in this situation, but not with the creator that you said when you got married and let big black men run up in your wife. You did it to find a great way to spit in God's face. Imagine that. Hey, y'all. Hey, do what you do, but in the meantime, make sure you be about your money at all costs. Baymac.
Hop on the interstate and chase me a bag. Pop bottles every time that I pass. It's that mafia swag, fly crippin'. You see me drippin' all this Mac sauce. Baymac, be about your money at all costs. Hop on the interstate and chase me a bag. Pop bottles every time that I pass. It's that mafia swag, fly crippin'. You see me drippin' all this Mac sauce. Baymac, be about your money at all costs. I'm from the land of the crack pavement. When niggas holler stay dangerous and squabble up just like Javante Davis. Niggas haters, they on lame shit. We be on that game shit. He thought he got away. I chase him down LeBron James shit. Blood stains from the stainless. He need a paramedic. And we play ball. Everybody around me athletic. Still stepping. Well committed. I stand on business. Every load I jump in, that bitch tinted. Won't catch me slipping. About my money low. Run me that bag. Call my bitch and say I need you. She gon' run to me fast. That mafia swag, she can't get enough. And she know I'm by my man. She let her sit and watch me add all this money up. Riders popping out the cut like roaches when the lights on. I'm just like BG with my niggas, whether right or wrong. Dead end mafia. You entering the danger zone. Tiny Macs be cracking heads. You better have your helmet on. Hop on the interstate and chase me a bag. Pop bottles every time that I pass. It's that mafia swag, fly crippin'. You see me dripping all this Mac sauce. Baymac. Be about your money at all costs. Hop on the interstate and chase me a bag. Pop bottles every time that I pass. It's that mafia swag, fly crippin'. You see me dripping all this Mac sauce. Baymac, be about your money at all costs. These niggas be hopping out of foreign whips and feeling like they run shit. The homie like Nick Cannon, he a fool with them drumsticks. Serve him and they done with. Have all of them niggas hit. Something heavy in my Baymac sweater. You see the gun print. Yeah, I got me bent behind tent, but I'm low key, give a fuck about the busters. The real niggas fuck with me, I move solo. Two pro clubs over polo. You won't catch me in none of you niggas photos. Y'all too friendly. Hopping out, spilling my Remy, smoking on good pressure. Always in a different load. Gotta keep these niggas guessing. Firearms in my possession. Steady counting my blessings. Believe in God and believe in this weapon. And try not to do too much stressing. Ain't seen my daughter in months. And when we FaceTime, I shed tears, I can't help it. And still connected in these streets just like Wi-Fi. Chucking up the set for death though. We gon' rip ride. Hop on the interstate and chase me a bag. Pop bottles every time that I pass. It's that mafia swag, fly crippin'. You see me dripping all this Mac sauce. Baymac, be about your money at all costs. Hop on the interstate and chase me a bag. Pop bottles every time that I pass. It's that mafia swag, fly crippin'. You see me dripping all this Mac sauce. Baymac, be about your money at all costs.
Nightwood Net Hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that.
It's the homie Cook-Up Boss, goddammit, Cub Low. And y'all tuning in to the Wake and Bake Show with goddammit the homeboy Spider Low.
Here with SPI, the realest nigga in LA.
Spider this bitch!
My nigga Spider Low.
Spider Low, nigga.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low, that's my nigga.
Spider Low. Spider Low.
Shout out to SPI, that motherfucking nigga.
Spider Low, Wake and Bake. Better keep it Google, nigga.
Loke is in LA somewhere doing what he's doing.
In the words of Spider Loke on my mama's mama.
Spider Loke's gear. This is Bay Mac.
Nightwood, C-Mac, shout out my Loke, Spider Loke, huh? Nightwood, on hood. It's a beautiful world. You fight me? Fight, quit.
Point blank, do no subliminal dissing. When I listen, I can tell you never been on no mission. Sticking to the script, don't care if I offend you. Neighborhood crib, the marathon
I overlook my competition, never seeing them. I done train my mind that I'm going. You could tell by how I walk, talk, I'm a boss. A east side millionaire, homie, what you thought? My life is a movie. They can't get close to me. They mad cause they can't be. I'm everything that they wanna be. Yeah.
You are now in the black box. Whoa! With Spider Loke, Most Easty, aka BJ Keyway, and the Google Gang. Let's go!